It's hard to miss the incredible momentum building around artificial intelligence. Just everywhere, isn't it?
It really is. Constant news.
And for many, including perhaps you listening right now, that excitement might be mixed with a bit of, well, how do I get involved? How do we move from feeling like spectators to actually, participating in this AI-driven future?
That's a key question. And today, we're hoping to shed some light by doing a deep dive.
Yeah, we're looking into some recent announcements from Google. They offer a really fascinating look at the technology powering this whole revolution. Maybe the foundations for new ways to engage.
Exactly. We're going straight to the source here, looking at the latest news from Google about their AI models, their infrastructure, the stuff that makes it all run.
Think of it as understanding the engine, maybe.
Precisely. By grasping these fundamentals, we can start to see not just what AI can do, but maybe how its growth could create new opportunities for, well, wider involvement down the line.
And this isn't just guesswork. Our exploration is based on information shared directly by Google, so it's a first-hand view of their latest innovations.
Right, we're talking about rapid advancements, AI that understands text, sure, but also images, audio, video, multimodal capabilities.
It's a fast-moving field, definitely. Getting a handle on these core technologies can really give you, the listener, a clearer picture of what the future might hold.
Okay, so where should we start?
Right, let's unpack this. Google's been highlighting some pretty big upgrades to their AI infrastructure. What's the key takeaway there?
Well, I think the main thing is the sheer leap in power they've achieved. They've announced their 7th generation TPU.
TPU, can you quickly remind us?
Yeah, Tensor Processing Unit. It's specialized hardware Google designed specifically to speed up AI calculations. This new one's called Ironwood.
Okay, Ironwood, and the leap in power.
It boasts a 10-fold increase in performance over the last gen, delivers an astounding 42.5 exaflops of compute power per pod.
Whoa, okay, 42.5 exaflops. That's almost incomprehensible. So, beyond the huge number, what's the tangible significance for someone trying to understand where AI is going?
Right. The key insight here is that this massive processing capability is what fuels the development, the training, the running of increasingly sophisticated AI models, like the latest versions of Gemini.
More power means bigger, better models.
Essentially, yes. Larger models, trained on more data, capable of tackling more complex problems. And crucially, this isn't just for Google's internal use. Ironwood will be available to Google Cloud customers later this year.
Ah, okay, so that power becomes more accessible.
Exactly, to a wider range of innovators, developers, potentially spreading the capability further.
So the engine gets a major boost, and access is expanding. Got it. Now let's look at how we might interact with this power. Google unveiled something called Google Beam. Sounds futuristic.
It does have that feel, yeah. Google Beam is conceived as an AI-enhanced video communication platform. Imagine, 6 cameras capturing a full view of you.
6 cameras, okay.
Yeah. And AI processes all those streams to render you on a special 3D light field display. The really innovative part is the head tracking. It's incredibly precise, down to the millimeter.
Millimeter accuracy. While you're talking.
Yeah, and real-time processing at 60 frames per second. The goal is to make video calls feel much more natural, more immersive, almost like being in the same room.
That sounds like a huge step up from, standard video calls. Who's this for initially? When might we see it?
They're initially collaborating with HP. The first Google Beam devices will be for early access customers later this year. So think high-end, maybe for scenarios where that sense of presence is really critical.
High-stakes collaboration, specialized communication needs, perhaps?
Something like that, yeah.
Interesting. And it seems like some of that tech, the ideas behind it, are filtering down into more everyday tools, like Google Meet.
Exactly right. They've been integrating core technology from their Starline project into Google Meet.
Starline, right. The precursor to Beam in some ways.
Kind of. And the most immediate benefit rolling out is real-time speech translation. They showed a live translation between English and Spanish.
Wow. In a regular Meet call.
Yep. And they've indicated support for more languages is coming, with enterprise availability later this year. Could really break down some barriers.
Yeah, that's potentially transformative for global communication. Okay, let's switch focus to Gemini itself. Feels like it's constantly evolving, gaining new abilities. What's new there?
Gemini is definitely becoming more versatile. One of the exciting advancements is Gemini Live. This builds on the camera and screen sharing features of the earlier project Astra.
Astra, right. So Gemini Live, What does it do?
The core idea is real-time assistance based on what you're seeing through your camera or on your screen. I'll give some clear examples.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Like correcting someone who misidentified a garbage truck as a convertible or a streetlight as a building, even explaining why a shadow moves the way it does. It's about Gemini understanding your visual context.
Huh. So it can see what I see and help me understand it, or correct me if I'm wrong?
Pretty much, yeah. It shows the AI reasoning and resolving misunderstandings in real time.
And that's rolling out.
That's the plan for Android and iOS. And alongside that, there's Project Mariner.
Mariner? What's that?
It's their research initiative developing into a powerful agent, something capable of interacting with the web to actually do tasks for you.
An agent doing tasks online? Okay.
And they've introduced multitasking. It can handle up to 10 simultaneous requests.
10 tasks at once. Wow. Like what kind of things?
Well, imagine planning a trip. You could ask it to find the best flight and hotel deals, while it also looks up top-rated local restaurants and checks the weather forecast, all running in parallel.
Okay, that's pretty useful.
And there's more. Their teach and repeat feature lets you show it how to do something once.
Like demonstrate a task.
Exactly. And the agent learns a generalized way to handle similar tasks in the future, automating repetitive stuff.
That level of automation could save a lot of time. And these agents, they can connect to other online services better now.
Precisely. They mentioned their Gemini SDK is compatible with the Model Context Protocol, MCP.
MCP, developed by Anthropic originally, wasn't it?
That's the one. Think of MCP as like a common language. It lets different AI systems and apps talk to each other, exchange info smoothly.
Okay, so Gemini agents can use this to, what? Connect to more things.
Right. Interact with a wider range of services, extending what they can do. We're already seeing early uses of this. Agentic capabilities are being integrated into Chrome Search and the Gemini app.
Can you give a concrete example of this agent mode in the Gemini app? How might it help me?
Okay, say you're looking for a new apartment. Normally, you'd spend hours browsing Zillow or whatever, filtering, trying to schedule viewings.
Yeah, it's a pain.
With agent mode, the Gemini app could automate a lot of that. It could search listings matching your criteria using Project Mariner. Then using MCP, it could access the listing info, maybe even try to schedule tours for you.
Directly schedule tours, without me clicking around.
That's the idea, all without you having to manually do each step. An experimental version is coming for subscribers soon.
That really is like having a personal assistant for apartment hunting. Now, personalization seems like a big theme too. How's Gemini getting more tailored?
This is where personal context comes in. Now, importantly, this is with your explicit consent. Strong privacy controls are key here.
Right. User permission first.
Absolutely. But with that permission, Gemini models will be able to access relevant info across your Google apps. Things like Notes in Drive, old emails, your calendar.
You do what exactly?
The goal is more relevant, helpful experiences based on your history and needs. A key example is personalized smart replies in Gmail, coming for subscribers this summer.
So instead of those generic one-liners.
Exactly. They gave an example. A friend asks for advice. Gemini could look at past chats with that friend, relevant notes you made, maybe even your calendar, and draft a thoughtful reply that sounds like you and actually gives useful suggestions.
Making the AI feel more like it knows you, an extension of your own thinking.
That's the aim, a more intuitive AI experience.
Very interesting. Okay, let's shift to the models themselves. Gemini 2.5 Flash. What's improved there?
Flash is positioned as their sort of efficient and versatile model. The latest version shows big improvements across the board: reasoning, coding, handling much longer inputs, long context, they call it.
Better at thinking, coding, and remembering more.
Basically, yeah. Improvements across almost every benchmark. And it's becoming generally available very soon, early June, with a preview accessible right now in AI Studio and Vertex AI.
Efficiency and better performance. Sounds good. What about how we interact? New text-to-speech.
Yes, this is really innovative. They've introduced what they call first-of-its-kind multi-E support for 2 distinct voices, built on a new native audio output system.
Multi-E, 2 voices, native audio. Break that down.
It means the model can speak much more expressively, convey nuances, subtle emotions, even whisper. It supports over 24 languages and can switch between them in the same sentence, smoothly, keeping the voice character.
Wow, okay. So much more natural-sounding voices.
That's the idea. Much more human-like and engaging. It's available now through the Gemini API.
Impressive. Security is always critical. Any updates there?
Absolutely. They highlighted strengthened security in Gemini 2.5, better protection against threats like indirect prompt injections, making it their most secure model yet.
That's reassuring as these models get used more widely. And for developers, or anyone wanting to know how the AI thinks, thought summaries.
Yeah, thought summaries. They're available for both 2.5 Pro and Flash via the API and Vertex AI. They give you a structured breakdown of the model's internal reasoning.
Like showing its work.
Kind of. It organizes the thinking clearly headings, key details, info about any tools it used, offers valuable insight into the decision-making process.
Transparency could be super useful for debugging, optimizing. We also heard about thinking budgets. What's that?
Thinking budgets give users more control over the trade-off between cost and speed versus the quality of the answer.
So you can choose faster and cheaper, or slower and maybe better.
Essentially, yes. You set a budget for the compute resources and time you're willing to spend on a task. It was already on Flash, now they're adding it to 2.5 Pro.
Makes sense. Fine-tuning performance based on needs. Okay, Google showed some cool demos of AI coding. Tell us about that.
Yeah, pretty compelling stuff. They gave Gemini 2.5 Pro a visual sketch and a prompt to update existing code based on it.
Based on just a drawing.
Yep. The model interpreted the visual, generated the code changes needed, updated multiple files in seconds. They even showed its internal thinking and potential changes it considered.
Wow.
And with the new native audio, the model could even give spoken feedback about the code changes.
Sounds incredibly efficient for developers.
Mm-hmm.
And for bigger coding jobs, there's Jules, this asynchronous agent.
Exactly. Jules is designed for those really complex coding tasks in large code bases, things that might take a developer hours, like migrating to a new language version.
So it works in the background on big stuff.
Right. It can plan the steps, modify files, execute the changes, all much faster. It's in public beta now, so developers can start playing with it.
AI becoming a real coding collaborator. What about creative uses? Gemini Diffusion.
Gemini Diffusion is their advanced experimental model for text-to-image generation. The latest version is 5 times faster than their previous fastest model.
5 times faster image generation.
Yeah, while keeping strong performance on coding tasks, too. They showed a math example highlighting the speed.
Speed is key there. And for the really tough thinking tasks, Deep Think mode for Gemini 2.5 Pro.
Yes, Deep Think is specifically for highly complex problems. They showed impressive results on hard math benchmarks.
Like competition-level math.
Exactly. But because these tasks are so complex, they're being cautious. Thorough safety testing, getting expert feedback first. So it's initially just for trusted testers via the API.
Good to see safety as a priority.
Yeah.
Looking ahead, what's the big picture for Gemini? They mentioned a world model.
Their vision is for Gemini to become this really comprehensive, versatile AI assistant, a world model that integrates lots of functions seamlessly.
Like what kind of functions?
Advanced video understanding, knowing context when you share your screen, memory across interactions, that natural voice output we talked about, and even controlling your computer to do things.
Controlling the computer?
Yeah.
Whoa.
They gave an example. Using a YouTube video to figure out how to fix a stripped screw, and then having Gemini call a local bike shop for help, all orchestrated by the AI.
That's a deeply integrated AI experience. And it's not just everyday tasks, right? Google's using AI in science, too.
Absolutely. They briefly mentioned big strides in scientific research, drug discovery, projects like AlphaProof for math, AlphaEvolve for finding new knowledge, Amy for medical diagnosis help, AlphaFold for predicting molecule structures, isomorphic labs for drug discovery.
Wow, okay. So AI tackling fundamental science.
It underscores the huge potential there.
Amazing breadth. Okay, let's shift gears to something most of us use daily. Google search. How's AI changing that?
This is a major overhaul. They're introducing a whole new AI mode in search, an end-to-end AI search experience.
End-to-end AI, what does that mean?
It's designed for longer, more complex questions. Using advanced reasoning, they've noticed people are already asking much longer questions in this mode, like 2 or 3 times longer than usual. It's starting to roll out in the US now.
So moving beyond just quick facts to more in-depth conversational searching.
Exactly. And it's getting more personalized, too. Soon, AI mode will offer tailored suggestions based on your search history. You'll also get the option to connect other Google apps, like Gmail first, to make results even more relevant.
But I control that connection.
Oh, absolutely. Full user control over connections, you can manage it all. Personal context should arrive in AI mode this summer.
Okay, and for really deep research questions, they're introducing Deep Search.
Yes, Deep Search aims to be like an expert research assistant. It can reason across different bits of information to create comprehensive, fully cited reports in minutes.
Fully cited reports generated by AI.
That's the claim. Examples included complex sports stats, questions, financial queries, delivering analysis, and even data visualizations, expected this summer.
That sounds incredibly powerful, like having a research team in search. And Project Mariner, the agent thing, that's coming to search too.
That's right. The example was asking Search to find 2 cheap tickets for a specific game. Mariner's capabilities let Search analyze options across vendors and guide you right through checkout, streamlining the whole thing.
Much more proactive search. And Search Live. What's that?
Search Live basically integrates Project Astra's live video capabilities into Search. Think, starting a video call from Search, using your camera to get real-time info about what you're looking at.
A video call with Search.
Yeah.
Interesting. Bridging physical and digital. And for shopping, a new try-on feature.
Yes, for virtual clothes try-on, you upload your picture, and their special fashion AI model shows how the clothes might look on you, considering fabric, drape, and folds.
That could be really useful for online shopping.
And they mention upcoming features like price drop alerts and an agentic checkout with Google Pay for one-tap buying under your control.
Making online shopping more visual, more convenient. Okay, quick summary of some key new platforms. Gemini Live, Deep Research, Gemini and Chrome, Imagine 4, and Veo 3.
Right. So, Gemini Live, free camera screen sharing in the app connections coming, deep research, upload your own files to guide the agent. Gemini and Chrome, context-aware AI in the browser for subscribers in the US first. Imagine 4, better, faster image generation, especially with text. And Veo 3, text-to-video with native audio sound effects, dialogue, the works.
Sounds like great tools for creative pros, too.
Definitely. They highlighted LAA2 for high-fidelity music with vocals for enterprises, YouTube creators, musicians. Also, the Synth ID detector.
Ah, yes, the watermark thing.
Exactly. Identifies AI media using invisible watermarks, important for knowing what's real. And they're working with filmmakers like Darren Aronofsky on AI tools like Flow for consistent characters, scenes, camera control in filmmaking.
AI as a creative partner across many fields. Now, for users wanting more power, new AI subscription plans.
Yep, 2 main ones. Google AI Pro, available globally, more features, higher usage limits than free, and Google AI Ultra. US initially, highest limits, early access to things like DeepThink and Flow with Veo 3, plus YouTube Premium and more storage.
Different tiers for different needs.
Yeah.
And Gemini isn't just staying on phones and computers.
No, they announced plans for smartwatches, car dashboards, even TVs in the coming months. But maybe the most intriguing is Android XR.
XR, augmented and virtual reality.
Exactly. Their vision for AI experiences on headsets and glasses, a collaboration with Samsung and Qualcomm.
A new era of spatial computing powered by AI.
That's the idea. For immersive stuff, maybe a headset like Samsung's Project Milhan, huge virtual screen, Gemini integration for exploring maps and XR, things like that.
And for everyday use.
Lightweight Android XR glasses for all-day wear. Cameras, mics, speakers, maybe an optional in-lens display, giving you timely info without pulling out your phone.
They showed some cool behind-the-scenes demos of these glasses, right?
They did. Things like sending texts, silencing notifications, identifying music, recalling info, getting directions, booking events, even live translation. All hands-free on the glasses.
Live translation on your glasses. Wow.
Yeah, and they're partnering with eyewear brands like Gentle Monster and Warby Parker on the designs.
Seamless AI woven into daily life. And finally, they had that internal AI counter leaderboard. Who won?
Indeed. Gemini took the top spot on their internal ranking, hit 95. Just a lighthearted way to cap things off, show their progress.
Okay, let's try and wrap this up. We've covered a ton of ground today, from the basic infrastructure, the TPUs.
Right, up through sophisticated multimodal models, intelligent agents doing tasks for us.
And entirely new ways of interacting with AI. Through search, through new devices like XR glasses, it's clear things moving incredibly fast.
Absolutely. And the shift seems to be from AI just processing data to actively assisting us, more integrated, more personalized, managing schedules, finding info, understanding the world in real time.
And thinking back to that initial question, how can people participate? It feels like these advancements, accessible cloud infrastructure, user-friendly tools, agent platforms, maybe they could open up new ways for more people to engage, to innovate.
It definitely leads to a compelling thought for you, the listener. As these smarter, more personal AI tools become more woven into our lives, maybe easier to build with, how do you see them fitting into your life, your work,
What new possibilities might these unlock for you personally?
Exactly. And what new ways of interacting with AI, benefiting from it, might emerge as this landscape keeps evolving so quickly?
Definitely a lot to chew on there. If any of this sparked your curiosity, we really encourage you to delve deeper. There's certainly a lot happening with Gemini right now. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.